What's up, everybody? I'm Oli Moss. This is Equine Photo School, and today we're going to talk about the envelope system. This is foundational to your success as selling prints out of the booth, selling any kind of photos out of the booth. This is how we're going to transport our photos to the booth. This is how we're going to transport our photos back to us as the photographer. And we are going to use this envelope system to make sure that each photo is on each computer. So that way we don't have to go in, double check everything, compare, contrast, whatever. We don't have to double check our work if we're using this envelope the way that I use it. It makes the whole system super fluid, super fast, and easy. Let's dive right into it. Where we're gonna go as a photographer, we're out there taking pictures, okay? And then you're gonna do our envelope system. You put that card in an envelope, you write down on the envelope what is in that memory card, okay? Whether it's CF, SD, whatever it is, seal it, and then have somebody come from your booth to go and get it, okay? The reason why we seal that is because people that are in your booth don't understand the value of what's on that card. Maybe you don't either as a photographer, but you should, because what is on that is your money. That is your future income on that card. There could be $10,000 on that card. You don't know. You don't know what kind of great images you've captured. You don't know how many of those are going to sell. You just don't quite know, right? It could be a total dud. You could, it's unlikely, but maybe you won't sell any from that card. But you don't want that card damaged. At the bare minimum, that card is worth money all by itself, let alone all the images that are on it. So we write down what it is on there, then it goes into our system. They can then go in and do our organizational thing. So go ahead and watch those other videos about organizing your footage, organizing your pictures into nice files. Having that file structure super, super important. So we do that. Then once it's on there, we write on there iMac, viewing station, number 1. Sometimes I'll put gaff tape on all these computers and mark them 1, 2, 3, 4, however many there are. So that way we know those images on that card have been on this computer. They don't have to go in, plug it back in, look, compare. They just know, right? Once it's done, and then they can go on to the next computer, and the next computer, and the next computer, however many you have. And that way you know, everybody knows that it's done, and then when it gets on every computer, then you can put it back in your card box and send it back to you as the photographer out in the arena, wherever that might be. Now you have an overview of how the system kind of works, right? So we take pictures as the photographer, we send those pictures to the booth via this envelope system. It goes around to all the employees and then back to you in that card box. Pretty straightforward. But I want to talk to you about what goes on that envelope because I haven't really highlighted that. I haven't talked about that yet in here. So one of the goals of doing this is to clarify to your employees exactly what is on this memory card. We want to be ultra clear and concise, but like how do you know what to put on there? So first of all, we get our manual timer sheet. This is like a day sheet or the draw, whatever you want to call it. This is an order of this is a team roping, but barrel races work the same way. A lot of events have the same kind of structured system, whether it's ranch sorting or anything. So there's all kinds of stuff like this. So go watch those other videos where I show you how to keep track of your contestants. But once we do that, we go on here and we look at this and we see what roping it is, what class it is, and what round it is, and how much of that round is on this memory card. So when we're looking at that, we want to put everything on here. So what we're doing here, first of all, we probably already know what roping we're at because we're at an event and it's the whole thing. So we don't have to worry about that so much. But generally what I would do is do like this. This is the 9.5 and it's the 60 plus. And then I would put a line under that. And then I would say this is the first round, and then I'd put a line over that, and then I would say this is runs 1 through 25, and that's how I would kind of structure this. This isn't an envelope, this is a note card, but this is what I would write on an envelope, okay? And then this would be sent to the booth, so they know that to put it in the folder with the 9.5 60 plus and the first round folder, and then they'll make a folder that's 1 through 25. There are modifications to this system, and we can talk about those in another video, but this is gonna get you through 95% of what you're ever gonna shoot. So once we send this card 1 through 25, the next card we'll do is 26 through 50. So it'll still be the 9.5 60 plus. It'll still be the first round, and then it'll be 26 through 50. and then we just go until that round is done. So however many teams are in that round, that's how many we would end up doing. So eventually, say there was like 80 teams in that round, in that rope in here. So the first round we went teams like 76 through 80. So there's not very many in that last one. So you can either roll that into the previous one, so you might have done like 51 through the end, or I like to do 25 or less. So I would be completely happy with doing the less, right? So the last card would have been 76 through 80. Then at the bottom of these cards here, the booth crew writes their stuff at the bottom. So like we talked about, sometimes I gaffer tape and write a number on each computer. So if I have 5 different computers, one is like the number 1 computer is going to be my print station computer, my main iMac. So I'll put number 1 there. We'll put 2, 3, 4, 5 on the other the Mac Minis. So then all we have to do here is just put like a 1 once they've got it. If it then goes to 5, cool. If then it goes to 4, and then it goes down here to 3, and then 2. Basically, once it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or however many stations you've got, then it's done. This card has now been uploaded onto every one of the computers that you have in your booth, and now it's ready to come back to you as the photographer in that card box, be formatted, used again, rinse and repeat. That's all there is to it. So a lot of times we'll just put 1, 2, 3, 4, or we might put on here, if we're not going to do that much, we might put on here iMac or Mac Mini 1, Mac Mini 2, whatever it is, so on and so forth until you've captured all of them. Or sometimes you could, another way to do this, and I just let the booth crew figure it out amongst themselves, because I don't care how they do it as long as they keep track. I don't care how they keep track. But I've also seen them put on there like Mike, Brenna, Oli, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So it could be just like anybody in there, whoever the booth crew is. Once somebody has put it on their computer, they just put their name on it. So then we know that it's on every computer. If we're missing a name, we say, hey Michelle, this hasn't been on your computer yet. Go ahead and go and put this on your computer. And we would just hand the whole envelope with the card in it to there. So that's why I like the self-sealing cards, is because you can put it back in there and seal it back up and hand it to the next person. It works really, really well. This system is so fluid and so smooth. I think you're going to really like it. I hope you can implement this into your system. If you do, let me know. Give me a message. If you have any questions, something comes up that's weird, let me talk you through it. I got you. I'm here to help. So we do this for all the rounds, all the opens, all the ranch sortings, everything, barrel racing. Every single event that I've ever shot has utilized this system and this system to make something that is worthwhile, right? So to make the system work, we utilize all of this stuff so we can keep track of who roped or who competed when and what pictures are assigned to them, so we can look them up super fast in the booth. And this ensures that this memory card is backed up on every single one of these hard drives. So you have multiple copies of every photo throughout the day, throughout the weekend. You're never gonna lose anything because everything is like very meticulously like backed up and scrutinized. And if and when a hard drive fails or a computer crashes, you can just plug in a new hard drive, copy it all over really quick, and boom, you're off to the races. So you haven't lost anything. So if this was a barrel race, we would do the same thing here. We would put on here, say, Futurity, first go, and then we would go 1 through 25. Right, so it could be that easy. Say it was the open. It could be the open on Saturday, and then it could be, you know, runs 51 through 75 or whatever. So we always do 25 runs or less because that's not a whole lot of pictures for somebody to look through. If they know they're at the beginning, they can just, you know, kind of scroll through. If they know they're at the end, they can start at the bottom and go up. If they know they're kind of in the middle, you know, it's not too hard to find the middle of that. And it lets people find their pictures fairly easily without us having to like put them into individual folders for everybody and take a lot of our time. So it's speed for us, it's fairly fast for the customers, and it just is like it's a good medium. It's like a happy medium between what's best for them and what's best for us, right? What's best for us would be to just dump them all into one folder, right? And just be like, good luck. As far as speed goes, right? That would be the fastest thing for us to do. And the fastest thing for the customer to do would be to go find their name and then see all their photos with their name in it. But that takes us a long time to create. So this is a good mix in between. You know, they just have to kind of remember their draw number, which isn't too big of a deal. Once you get them kind of trained in on this system too, they remember their draw numbers much better. Or a lot of them take a picture with their phone anyway, so it's a piece of cake. You know, tell them to go over there to the draw sheet, take a picture with their phone, piece of cake. A lot of producers can give you a list of the draw with people's names in, and so you can look up their names on a sheet. So sometimes we have that available. I typically don't bother asking for that. This is a good system that works. Not very many people forget their numbers, or they can't go find it fairly easily, so it's not a big deal. Okay, I gotta clear some things up because that was a titch on the confusing side. After I watched it back, I thought, all right, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, okay? We do the 1 through 25 to prep to upload to the website so that my booth crew has less to do and they get the card sooner, so it's faster to the booth. The nice thing is if you go through my high volume workflow course at equinephotoschool.com, you'll see why we do it that way. It's super fast, it's easy, it's efficient, everything works great. If, however, we're at the booth, which the whole thing is about the booth, right? So if we're at the booth, we're gonna use one of these day sheets, this manual timer sheet like I showed you earlier in this video, and we're gonna look up somebody's name like that. So what we would do is say like, what was your team number, what was your draw number, whatever, and say like, let's look at draw 6. This is Curtis and Ricky here. They were draw 6, and this tells us in round 1, their photos, the last photo of them was 0919. If you add 1 to the one before, 0912, that is the start of their run. So all we would do is whoever is showing them their pictures, they would start at 0912, add 1 to the one before. That's easy, right? They'd start at 0912 and show them their pictures there. It's really, really fast to look up their pictures. We don't need the 1 through 25 to be condensed down, right? It's really straightforward. Okay, then we would show them their second round. Their second round would be from 1088 to 1094, and then their third round here, if we slide over here to third round, it's 1193 to 1200. So we know that they've got boom, 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 and then they didn't make it to fourth round. So this must have been a no time right there. So using this sheet here is how we find their photos in the booth. It's super fast and easy. People love this system that I've created here. We're not having to go through and find like what color shirt did they have, what kind of horse did they ride on, like whatever. We don't have to look at each picture to find them. It's very just like numbers based, and we go, it's really easy to find that number because they're in order, right? So as long as we, the photographers, write down these numbers as we shoot, the booth crew has a really easy time fulfilling orders and taking orders.